For rising to the challenges of 2020.
For supporting our healthcare workers on the front line.
For pioneering new ways to harness cloud technologies.
For helping students, citizens, patients, and others have access to the technology they need to make a difference.
Thank you for enabling researchers to make scientific breakthroughs and new discoveries.
For embracing new ways to learn, live, and work during the pandemic.
Thank you for helping students attend class from home.
Thank you for leading with a digital-first mindset.
Thank you for embracing AI to support customers and citizens with speed and scale.
For coming together and using technology to find new ways of helping all of us.
Thank you.
For leading.
For innovating.
For serving us all when we needed you most.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I couldn't agree more with these sentiments of gratitude, and I would like to offer my thanks as well as to the countless public sector heroes that have worked so tirelessly over the past year to deliver important services to citizens around the world during the pandemic. I would now like to welcome you to our first ever Google Cloud Public Sector Summit. I'm Thomas Kurian, Chief Executive Officer of Google Cloud, and we're excited to bring together the most innovative minds in government from around the globe. Each of you have been powerful agents for change in these unprecedented times, and we are looking forward to sharing best practices and learning from each other today. There's no better way to accelerate innovation and drive lasting change. Over the last year, I've been humbled and inspired by the ways in which public sector organizations and their committed teams have responded heroically to the monumental changes and challenges before them. In times like these, citizens need their governments and academic institutions like never before. With a newfound resilience, you have delivered consistently and around the clock, from healthcare first responders providing care in the most extreme situations, to governments designing emergency financial aid programs, to educators pivoting to remote learning at scale. At Google Cloud, we're grateful for the opportunity to support and help the public sector. You've taken immediate action to reimagine your operating and service delivery models, often in days or weeks, and we're honored to continue to work alongside you as you continue supporting citizens all across the globe during these unprecedented times. I'm pleased to highlight a number of areas where we have partnered with our customers to serve across mission-critical initiatives and programs. First, we're working with government agencies like the US Navy, the Defense Innovation Unit, and the Department of Energy. We're also working with a number of states like New York, Wisconsin, and Illinois to more effectively deliver welfare and benefits to those in need. Second, we're working with public sector institutions on communication and collaboration initiatives. The Veneto region of Italy's healthcare system, for instance, relies on Google Workspace to maintain its high level of service and patient care. West Virginia saved over $11 million when they moved 22,000 employees to Google Workspace. And finally, we're working with academic institutions, such as the University of North Carolina, who created the Heroes Health app using Google Cloud's real-world insights to support healthcare workers' mental health. Penn State World Campus also created a virtual assistant on Google Cloud to answer routine questions, which allowed academic advisors to spend more time with their students. Google Cloud is honored to be the public sector's trusted partner in these important missions and many more. We are committed to your success, and we resolve to continue to deliver innovative cloud technologies that offer the interoperability, security, and openness you need to achieve your goals. Specifically, we understand your unique security and compliance requirements and can help you deliver against them. For instance, our cloud is certified FedRAMP High for your most sensitive workloads, and our solutions support rigorous privacy and data sovereignty requirements. We now support CGIS workloads and offer IL4 compatible controls in beta for US data locations and US person support for your workloads. We also launched Assured Workloads for Government, a product that gives you compliance built in without compromise. Second, we recently introduced confidential computing, which ensures data is encrypted at rest, in transit, and even when it's being processed, an industry first. And lastly, we have secured a framework agreement for Secure Cloud from the Canadian federal government, an agreement which can now help them digitally transform and better serve their communities and constituents. We're excited to bring this community together, and we thank each of you for investing your time with us today, especially when you face more responsibilities than demands than ever before. I applaud your commitment to continuing to push the boundaries of what's possible and for ushering in a new era of innovation and digital transformation within the public sector. Now I'd like to pass it over to Mike Daniels, our Vice President of Global Public Sector at Google Cloud, for our opening keynote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Google Cloud Public Sector Summit. I'm Mike Daniels, Vice President of Global Public Sector for Google Cloud, and I'm thrilled to be with you today. Thank you all for taking the time to join us, and I look forward to a time when we can come together in person again. First, I think we all have to acknowledge that 2020 has been a truly exceptional year. It's been a year of rapid change, unexpected challenges, and new frontiers. It's been a year where many of us have welcomed our children back home, in my case, 2 daughters from university, all while embracing new ways to learn, live, and work during the pandemic. Despite the challenges and hardships of 2020, the public sector has embraced this crisis as a moment of real change, a crucible for rapid innovation and progress. Technologists and leaders in government as well as academia have done heroes' work, in some cases literally consolidating years' worth of digital transformation into just days or weeks. Our public sector customers have proven themselves to be ready for the challenge and shown us what is truly possible. You have spun up testing centers, unemployment websites, new citizen-facing call centers, as well as digital classrooms, all while maintaining an unwavering continuity of services. At Google Cloud, it has been our privilege to work side by side with the public sector in response to COVID-19. This pandemic has been a pointed reminder of the incredible power of public and private sector partnership and the positive impact we can make by working together. Here are just a few examples of the incredible work and outcomes we've helped our customers achieve this year.
I've been an emergency physician for more than 20 years, but the COVID pandemic was qualitatively different than anything I'd experienced before.
No one could have anticipated this pandemic or the wave of unemployment claims that came afterwards. The volume was just overwhelming.
La nostra priorità assoluta è la salute. Ed è per questo motivo che abbiamo introdotto nei nostri ospedali soluzioni innovative.
Per raggiungere questi obiettivi e vedere la nostra vision realizzata, avevamo bisogno del giusto partner e delle giuste tecnologie. Google Cloud ci ha supportato in questo percorso.
One of my dreams is to really transform how drug discovery is done today. drug discovery, it's a huge process. The entire chemical space that's available is 10 to the power of 60. We literally do not have the time nor the resources to screen a fraction of that.
Google is providing an amazing amount of support to make these ideas reality.
What Virtual Flow allows you to do is to massively increase your search space in a practical amount of time. It takes it from years to weeks. Especially in a pandemic like SARS-CoV-2, that makes a huge difference.
Working in tech, we think in terms of millions of users. But when you bring it back to the individual, if you're saving one person's life, this has totally been worth it.
We talk about digital transformation as a way to remove barriers. As we've been challenged by moving all of our university business to remote, we quickly started integrating Google Docs into our day-to-day work.
The ability of the cloud to scale, it was just absolutely critical.
In government, we're used to building tech on multiple years and timelines. I was able to turn to Google and get my solution built within months.
We could have never launched the Heroes Health app this quickly if we hadn't been able to build on the infrastructure that cloud already built for healthcare. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. And I think we can use tech to build a better future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Customer success is absolutely core to our mission and permeates everything we do. And we know that our customers achieve their goals and the needs of their mission best when they learn from each other. With that in mind, I'm thrilled to announce the launch of Google Cloud's Public Sector Connect, our new community for government and higher education customers and prospects. As you'll notice over the course of these next 2 days, many of us are solving for the same challenges, struggling with the same issues, and are in need of peers or references to guide our journey to the cloud. This community is intended for anyone in the public sector interested in optimizing ways in which Google Cloud can help them, their colleagues, and their constituents. Please sign up today at pubsecconnect.com. And with every new relationship, we're excited to help our customers chart a path toward success and solve big challenges together. We successfully completed a project with US Northcom to significantly improve real-time intelligence specific to COVID-19 readiness for daily briefings on a variety of national security topics, leveraging AI/ML and our smart analytics platform. Recently, we partnered with NOAA to enhance weather forecasting and research using AI/ML. We signed an enterprise agreement with the Department of Energy to help scale research efforts and innovate across national labs and field sites. Earlier, we partnered with the U.S. Navy to modernize corrosion detection and repairs for vessels and facilities. This minimizes safety risks and service downtime. And we worked with the Defense Innovation Unit to help military doctors with cancer detection research, and on another project to build a secure cloud management solution to protect against cyber threats globally, and much more. While 2020 is finally coming to a close, one thing we've learned for certain from working with our customers is that the shift to digital service is here to stay. As public sector organizations continue to look for ways to accelerate their digital transformation, it's clear that innovation is an increasingly necessary ingredient to solve systemic challenges, improve operational performance, and deliver a lasting impact in our fast-changing world. To continue innovating, our customers need a cloud partner who can provide the best infrastructure, capabilities, industry solutions, as well as the necessary mindset required to drive that change. Now I'd like to share a few insights that have shaped our customers' success and achievements this year, ones that I think will be crucial to the future of digital service. Clearly, in a digitally driven world, the need for a globally secure infrastructure with systems that are up to date and designed with security at every level remains absolutely paramount. And in order to provide the maximum flexibility you need to manage your data securely, we offer distinct environments to use our infrastructure. You can use it in our Google Cloud regions, or in your data centers using hybrid cloud infrastructure, or in a multi-cloud environment where you are combining Google Cloud with other cloud providers, or even in a telecommunications mobile edge computing environment. Importantly, you can use our infrastructure and applications in any of these contexts with a single open programming model and API. We also recognize that when you move workloads to Google Cloud, security, privacy, and compliance are important areas of risk and concern. So let's talk about some recent updates we've made to continue protecting your data. First, we introduced a new capability called confidential computing. Confidential computing allows you, as a customer, to run workloads in Google Cloud that ensure data is not only encrypted at rest and in transit, but that data is even encrypted while it's being processed. Secondly, we've introduced a number of solutions to protect and give you threat visibility for intrusion monitoring, as well as BeyondCorp for zero trust access to applications that are web-based in Google Cloud, and even those applications at your premises and on other clouds. And lastly, we introduced something called Assured Workloads to make it easy for our customers to ensure that their cloud workloads are running in compliance with either industry standard requirements or your own IT organization's compliance standards. Another thing we've learned is that flexibility and interoperability will be crucial to meeting mission objectives in the future. One customer who embraced digital transformation to achieve maximum flexibility and interoperability is the Defense Innovation Unit. Their multi-cloud access security solution will be built on Anthos, allowing the DIU to securely access services and applications across multiple cloud environments at scale. We believe that virtual collaboration, remote work, and digital service delivery will definitely continue post-pandemic. 2020 has shown us that teams can continue to function, even thrive, without ever meeting in person, and we expect that trend to continue. The state of West Virginia's workforce of 22,000 has migrated to Google Workspace to serve its people and continue working remotely and securely. The state of Iowa uses Google Meet to provide virtual visitation between inmates and family and friends. And the University of Lynchburg introduced Google Meet in a matter of days to accommodate distance learning for its undergraduate and graduate programs, while also protecting itself virtually from security threats. This year has also shown the maturity and power of applied AI to enable transformation, boost productivity, and drive critical outcomes at scale. We believe the power of AI to significantly improve service delivery is going to power public sector transformation well into the future. For example, in a matter of weeks, the state of Illinois implemented Google Cloud Contact Center AI to respond to over 1 million unemployment claims. And the state of Wisconsin used predictive analytics to expedite the unemployment claims process. The City of Toronto and Google collaborated during the early stages of the pandemic to implement a virtual agent, creating an omni-channel path for public information. And Penn State World Campus pioneered the use of AI to provide academic advising support to their students at scale. Our customers were busy in other corners of the world as well. For example, in Singapore, Nanyang Technological University introduced a new virtual agent to help over 6,000 incoming freshmen transition to university life on their smart campus. In the field of scientific computing, we've supported over 280 breakthrough projects and over 700 researchers through our COVID-19 Research Credits Program, including Harvard and a Race to Find a Cure, UNC's Heroes Health app to help frontline healthcare workers manage their well-being, and Stanford's discovery that wearables can detect early signs of infection. We've also pioneered with organizations such as Internet2, NIH Strides, and NSF to provide training and resources to help researchers move to the cloud. We encourage all researchers to take advantage of our research programs so we can help solve the impossible together. We've also learned this year that our customers and the public sector community at large need more than just leading technology and capabilities. They need an experienced public sector partner with solutions that serve their unique needs of their mission. We'll continue to deliver industry solutions that meet our customers where they are and help solve specific challenges, such as our Student Success Platform, intelligent virtual service agents, as well as solutions addressing social services, public health, transportation, and cybersecurity, to name just a few. As we head into the new year, I'm pleased to announce 2 new solutions we've brought to market to address critical needs for our customers. First, our Virtual Career Center solution. COVID has changed the nature of work for many of our public service agencies, in particular for our state workforce agencies, who are charged with helping a steady stream of unemployment applicants find their way back to work. These agencies have in some cases faced a 3,000% increase in citizens seeking support and have been asked to help entire industries transition into new fields of employment. We agree with the Rhode Island governor's commitment that they won't rest until all Rhode Islanders are back on their feet. And at Google, we won't rest until our technology can do all it can to help provide the best support to these agencies and the citizens they serve as they take on the enormous task of helping people get back to work. Second, as we look to support those most in need during this time, we are also passionate about ensuring that both nefarious and criminal actors do not defraud a system generously geared to get people back on their feet. We know this is the most critical time for public servants to both activate and protect public resources. Our improper payment solution helps our government partners prevent fraud and even unintentional payment mistakes so that more money can go where it is really needed. So throughout this pandemic, we have been focused on innovating for the public sector, whether it's getting students online and able to succeed virtually, or allowing justice to continue with virtual courtrooms. Google is here to serve public servants who are both leading us out of these trying times and ushering in a new dawn of citizen-driven solutions that will forever change the way people around the world can experience and interact with the public sector and one another. Lastly, supporting the success of our customers and helping them solve their mission-critical challenges would truly not be possible without our public sector partner ecosystem. Our partner community is absolutely critical to helping our customers achieve their objectives, from initial implementation to full-scale deployment. We look forward to continuing to work together with our partners to serve our public sector community worldwide. Before I close this keynote, I wanted to share a preview of what the next couple of days will be like. We've put together a fantastic lineup of Googlers and customers across the globe who will be sharing lessons learned, best practices, and technical approaches that they have used to solve their missions and support their students. Please mark your calendar for live sessions and explore on-demand sessions at your convenience. Also, make sure you explore our event website. For our technical audience, sign up for a live Ask the Expert session and get your technical questions answered by a Google expert. Check out our customer stories, learn more about the Google customer community, and explore key resources and recommended trainings. Finally, thank you again for joining us today, and a big thank you to our customer speakers as well as our partners who have joined us in delivering great content for this event. We hope you'll benefit from hearing from other customers on their digital transformation journeys and walk away with new insights to support your mission and objectives.
Hi, I'm Trisha Davis Muffet, and I'm here with Mike Daniels to get all of your questions answered. So don't forget to put your questions in. And Mike, just kick us off. I hear that you have some important news to share with us today.
I do, Trisha, and it's all around workspace. As we've all experienced working from home and frankly conducting business remotely, we've been paying attention to that and have developed a workspace offering really specific for government. And it's really around three kind of key areas that we see that our government users specifically need. And the first is flexibility, the ability to combine products with things that they already have on that are already in use and can be used with. So some flexibility around how they arrange the products we have. The second is around compliance. Our customers need to be able to conform with lots of compliance. And so we have to offer the most compliant and robust product we have in that space. And then finally, and probably most importantly, around price. And being able to offer this at a price point that allows government to take advantage of all of the things that we have in workspace. So we're going to have a lot more details of this that emerge over the coming year. But I think it's going to offer tremendous value, flexibility, and productivity for our government customers.
That's fantastic news. I know that so many of our customers are going to be really excited to hear about that. So in the meantime, what should people do to find out more?
Well, as I mentioned, you're going to see more news come out over the ensuing months, but you can certainly reach out to us directly on the chat. I think there's some information that you can ping for us in terms of questions, and we're going to be rolling out more information on this either through your FSR or through just inquiry and us. But it's super exciting announcement, and really kind of cements what we view as workspace becoming part of everyday life for everyone going forward, and what will probably be a permanent hybrid type environment.
That's great. Thank you, Mike. All right, now I know in your talk you mentioned a number of things related to economic recovery, which is of course important to so many of our customers as well as to the country as a whole. Can you tell me a little bit more about what Google is doing to help with economic recovery?
We're doing a variety of things. I mean, one of, I think, the big things that are coming out of this that offers tremendous potential advantage for everything around the world is the ability to really truly work from anywhere. And technology jobs allow that to happen in really kind of the most robust way. And so we have an offering called Grow with Google that we've deployed that allows people to gain certifications, et cetera. They're very valuable in the market. And over 5 million people already have taken advantage of that. So we're bringing those types of education, self-paced offerings to allow people to participate in a growing digital economy going forward. And the second thing we're doing, as we mentioned, is really leaning in on things like Virtual Career Center and how do we offer ability for people to reskill and reconnect with the employment market.
That's great. Thanks for that. So Mike, what's the biggest lesson that the Google team has learned this year while working with public sector customers navigating operations during such a difficult year and during a pandemic?
Yeah, I think probably the thing that has resonated the most with us is, frankly, having great empathy for the outcomes that our customers are trying to achieve, and being entirely focused on doing that in a way that is at the fastest time to value, certainly, and makes the most impact for the missions they're serving. This has really been a poignant reminder of the importance of the public sector marketplace and its impact on society, frankly, as a whole. And we've been super humbled by our role as, in assisting our customers to basically change overnight how many of these operations are run at scale, and to deliver the types of critical services that citizens around the world need to stay functioning and, frankly, recovering as part of this pandemic.
Great. Mike, we've got a question here from a faculty member who says that there are some basic features that aren't present in Google Docs, and also, that they see in some of the competitive products, and also their university adopted Zoom, even though they already have Google Meet. So the question is, what are we doing to bring some of the features to bear that some of our competitors have, so that it's easier for faculty to use a single set of products?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the intention with what we are doing with respect to this whole workspace sort of rebranding and pivoting in terms of around our offering here. The focus is entirely on making things seamless to work together within our offering, as well as a strong focus on interoperability to accommodate other offerings that are out there in the marketplace. So it's a pretty strong pivot from really more of an inside, how do these things get done in silos, and having best of the tools there, to how do we make them productive across the stack and then interoperable with other things. The second item I would mention on that is we have a huge investment going into this going forward. And so we have a deeply experienced team across this that comes from multi-domain backgrounds that are all focused on what are the most productive things that we can get in to help people actually get work done. Because what's happened is our workspace offerings have, and really all collaboration offerings as a whole, have transitioned from collaboration to literally how we conduct and deliver mission. And we're even looking at it as, how does workspace get integrated into things like with GCP to the delivery of citizen service mission and those sorts of things. So we're taking that type of mind frame with it. So feedback like that absolutely is one from a feature standpoint, but that's sort of the overarching direction that we're going with Workspace.
That's great. One more question from somebody in academia, I'm guessing, wondering about whether we could use deep learning for transcription of manuscripts. Any thoughts about that, Mike?
Yeah, we have a lot of a fairly robust document AI offering sort of in this space, along with tooling like Google Translate and those sorts of things. I think there's great opportunity. We're working with customers across industries and frankly around the world on ingesting those sorts of documents and that type of text translation, as well as intelligence associated with the types of documents they are and those kinds of things. So that is an area where we are continuing to innovate. I think it's an important area both for academia and frankly, this whole, everything from distance learning to preservation of all sorts of records and access to them, to how we are helping our customers actually use document ingestion in a way that allows them to apply intelligence and efficiency.
That's great. That reminds me to ask you about our use of AI and machine learning in the public sector. I know that we have a number of offerings in the public sector. Can you tell me a little bit about what makes Google's AI and machine learning, really relevant in the public sector?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. First of all, as it relates to this area, we've been investing in this area for many, many years, very, very deeply, and I think have offered all sorts of breakthroughs to the industry as a whole. Some things like TensorFlow and those sorts of things that we've open sourced. So that's one space. The second one is all around ML, like our Auto ML, being able to democratize and provide tooling for our customers that is approachable for them to manage and develop their own models as it relates to utilizing our Auto ML tooling. And then finally, as it relates to AI, offering a number of APIs. I mentioned one of them, Document API. We have Vision, API. We have Applied API that I talked about a little bit in the opening remarks to things like government service centers and those sorts of things. I think that is a trend that we are just starting to see, and we are trying to think deeply about how do we apply this to drive practical outcomes. So there's sort of two flows, if you will. There is a flow around offering APIs, tooling, open sourcing, et cetera, that benefits the community and people that want to develop these things on their own. And then the second one is to trying to drive down really service delivery motions that allow us to apply AI at scale to drive mission sorts of outcomes for our customers.
I love how we're really thinking about applied AI and finding practical uses for it within the public sector. A question here about confidentiality from our customers. They want to know, where can we find more information on the confidential computing feature to get an idea of whether that's something that this customer could use?
Yeah, a couple of things. I mean, you can always start with your Google representative for sure. We have a number of places you can go as well, obviously, in terms of our public information sources on our website, those sorts of things. Or reach out to one of your engineering resources that we have associated with the account, or follow up here with us, and we'd be happy to drop information to you. But that's really a fairly unique feature for Google Cloud in terms of how we approach encryption, how we approach confidential computing, how we approach customer managed security keys, encryption keys. Those kinds of things I think are very unique. And this is one of these areas where when you look at how we apply BeyondCorp and Zero Trust, and then these sort of encryption features, and then confidential computing and assured workloads, you start seeing the level of depth that we have as it relates to offering security for our customers.
That's fantastic. Many in the public sector IT community have commented that we have advanced IT modernization by maybe 5 years in the last 12 months due to the pandemic and what's been required there. Do you think that that accelerated innovation will continue for public sector? And what do you think we need to make that happen?
Yeah, so the short answer is I do think that we will see an accelerated trend towards what I would call full digital transformation of the service delivery sort of value chain, and that's applicable, frankly, in education. It's applicable certainly in government, and what I mean by that is what we've demonstrated, I think, as a community is when faced with a challenge like this, we are able to componentize and transform in incredibly short times. We are able to bring tooling, as we've talked about with like applied AI and those sorts of things, to drive breakthrough results in terms of how we assess data. And I think this points up our ability to actually ingest and manage data at scale utilizing cloud tooling that was probably not really possible until relatively recently. And so these sorts of trends, this whole data trend underlying this that allows us to digitize the entire service delivery motion, be it whatever it may be, I think that will continue. And I think you will see that accelerate somewhat in regard to how we tackle in a componentized way some of this legacy sort of tech burden that we carry with us in the public sector space, which has really kind of held back some of these things from really kind of breakthrough transformation versus simply digital front doors and those sorts of things. So we're talking about transformation really and changing the way how service is delivered, how employees interact with the delivery of that service, sort of writ large.
That's fantastic. I certainly hope we continue on this path, and I think we're on the right path. Here's a question from someone who works for a major city government. While the flexibility that something like Google Workspace offers is very appealing, especially when it comes to reducing physical office footprint and work from home, we're more curious about how easy it would be to integrate mainframe applications to Google Workspace. A lot of the major projects are legacy applications, and it probably holds true for a lot of other big government agencies. Any thoughts about that, Mike?
Yeah, and that's you're actually starting the great question, number one. Number two, it sort of tags on to what I was alluding to in my previous remarks on the last question, is a lot of the work that we've done to create agility and resilience during this pandemic is componentized around a mainframe sort of system of record on the back end, right? And so we're able to put compute sort of right next to that for things that we want to drive in terms of breakthrough digital transformation while everything is still operating. Basically, we are modernizing the plane while in flight by utilizing this sort of componentized approach. We are very open, transparent. We coexist well with on-premise, even other clouds, those sorts of things. So that's in our DNA with how we approach that, and our tooling supports that. And then I mentioned a little bit how we integrate things like Workspace into our service delivery motion. And you could envision, I mean, Workspace technically can be used for anything where you're doing something like remote inspections. We've worked with the UK on census, where we've got devices and external, and we've packaged the entire thing together. So we can really go for a complete offering as it relates to Workspace, inspections, any sort of collaboration record that you need to have, down to componentized modernization around a mainframe, so we don't try to forklift these things. That is this approach that I think that you're going to see. It's been proved out as part of this pandemic, and I think that is what will accelerate and allow us to digest and realize the benefits of digital transformation versus having to try to consider that from the beginning as this single big bang with respect to, like, we need to get rid of the mainframe, which frankly does not result in a transformative impact.
Yeah. So there are a lot of questions here from people about this idea of accelerated transformation. But another one here that I'm seeing is about not just the technology to make that transformation happen, but what is your advice to ensure that a culture of innovation and transformation continues? And would you recommend engaging areas of the institution where this culture has not caught on yet?
Wow, that is a tremendously insightful question. I mentioned a little bit, like in sort of the table opener to this discussion, our investment in trying to help reskill people around the world. Frankly, driving that culture of innovation, driving opportunities to participate. I think everybody wants to be an innovator at the end of the day. I mean, that's why we are focused on, no code tooling. That's why we are focused on open. We are making investments in our own learning platform for our customers to be able to come with us on this journey. I think it's less about people that don't want to innovate in a customer versus us making it accessible for them, us making the light go on about it. I think innovation driven towards a particular outcome where you're tying all of that very tightly, people want to be energized and get behind that. So I'm yet to interact with a customer where once that connection is made and once you allow them to participate in the process, that every pocket doesn't want to. I think what has happened in some instances when you begin doing innovation projects that aren't very tightly coupled to a delivery or a change in outcome for your end customer, business partner, whatever. Those are the projects that I think that, maybe drift a little bit. Where you make it accessible, where you give the entire organization tooling for them to come with you on the journey, where there's a distinct outcome and components that they see happening. Those are the types of things that I think really spur innovation broadly within our customers. And so that would be my answer to that question. We're trying to bring what we can with respect to not only tooling, but also education and frankly, deep partnership. I think that's one of the reasons that we're maybe a little different is that our interest is not in just running something. Our interest is actually in being an innovation partner, helping you transform something, being invested, in our customers' journey.
Yeah. No, I mean, nothing gets people motivated more than making progress, right? So last question, Mike. We had someone asking about the improper payments solution that you mentioned in your keynote. What state agencies do you think that would be relevant for?
There's a broad range of agencies. I mean, obviously, the immediate sort of need is with respect to unemployment insurance payments and those sorts of things. But you can see this transitioning across any of the social service safety net payments that we're making to help citizenry at large. You can see this transitioning to all sorts of payments, be it Medicare, Medicaid. You can see this transitioning to things on a federal level, like income tax and those sorts of things, because the principles are the same. How do we leverage and unlock data, address it with intelligence that is finely honed on behavioral patterns and spotting that to drive a next level of fraud detection and or when things are changing rapidly, catch errors in payments that are being made, frankly, before they happen, to ultimately speed those benefits. Those same principles, the same tooling, the same approach, the same ability to unlock data and scale are what's going to allow this to move forward, I think, into the sort of the next generation of what I would call sort of fraud detection, which has been around for quite a while, but is kind of mired in a backwards-looking mindset versus this forward, constantly learning, staying one step ahead of people that are trying to defraud whatever it is in terms of a service or benefit that you're providing citizens.
No, that's great. I'm really excited to see this roll out. All right, well, thank you so much, Mike. This has been a very insightful conversation. Thank you for all your announcements and everything. And thank all of you for joining us today. I hope that you will stick around and visit all of the sessions we have going on. We've got a full day of sessions going on today, as well as live Q&As with our experts. And it continues tomorrow. We have an amazing keynote tomorrow from the author of the book Biased, and that'll be a really interesting keynote and conversation. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Mike, and have a great day, everyone.